Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite. As far as tonight's Dynamite does go, it was the go-home show for this weekend's AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view. Now, technically, it's not really the go-home show. They kept calling it the go-home show, but for them to be doing Collision on Saturday, that's the real go-home show, because the go-home show means last show for these wrestlers before the pay-per-view. Yet it's not like WWE where you could say this is the Raw go-home show, but there's still a SmackDown go-home show because there's two brands, two rosters. This is not the go-home show technically. Collision is the go-home show. Also, can we just cancel Rampage at this point? It's been well over a month since Rampage has been at its normal time slot, and like they told us this Friday, Rampage is at like 6 o'clock on Friday. So it's like, really? I gotta watch Rampage? Rampage will come on here in California at 3? Yeah. This show needs to just get canceled because it's either the third hour of Dynamite or the third hour of Collision, and it's not even the third hour of either of those shows. They still brand it as its own thing with random nobody cares about matches. So if you really want 3-hour shows, then give us a 3-hour Dynamite. Give us a 3-hour Collision, but all branded as Dynamite and all branded as Collision. So then that way it doesn't make it seem like, oh, that's the Collision main event, but there's still more. So is that stuff more important or not as important, or what are we to think? I hate when AEW does the whole third hour is Rampage, because then they basically told us, oh, yeah, there's more wrestling tonight, but you don't have to watch because it doesn't matter. It's Rampage. Honestly, at this point, they should just get rid of Rampage. But as far as the show does go, that was an okay show. Pretty good, actually. Main event and main event angle didn't do it for me. And the crowd was pretty dead, too. I also had a friend that was there that said the crowd did not care at all about Danielson and Satnam. At all. And they barely cared about the post-match angle. They only thought it was cool when Darby started shooting off the flamethrower. Other than that, they didn't care about the post-match angle either. So, what did you think of tonight's AEW Dynamite?
Honestly, the only thing that I actually liked was the Adam Copeland, Malachi Black segment. That was probably one of the only things I actually liked.
Was Copeland wearing his, and I don't know if you noticed or anything, his Judgment Day suit? It looked like it.
It looked like it to me.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, Lord. Because I thought we were going to get some sort of a Brood segment. But then he wore the Judgment Day suit in that little video they showed. And I went, oh, not what I was expecting. I expected him to come showing up looking like the Brood Edge. But nope. Hey, maybe this is a sign WWE wouldn't let him bring Gangrel at WrestleMania. So maybe AEW will let him bring out Gangrel. Maybe this is a tease. With all that, not very farm strawberry jam, they dumped a lot of. I think some people said it looked like barbecue sauce that they dumped on Malachi. I think it was strawberry jelly.
It looked like it. You can see like the bits of strawberry.
Exactly. It was chunky. It looked chunky. So that's what I think it was.
I wonder what they used in like WWE for their like blood thing, because the blood was like black. Was it just paint? Or I don't know what that was.
I've read about it before. Give me 1 second. See if I can find it. I know WCW's done it before too. I remember one time they tried to dump blood on, I think it was Kevin Nash, and it totally missed. It just totally missed. Like Nash was standing in the middle of the ring, and it all dumped on like the left side. I remember that one. WCW failed at that. I'm trying to see what it was. I know I've read it before. Of course, it's not real blood, but yeah, I don't know. Excuse me. But regardless, that was one of the better angles on this show. Basically, you got to know that Adam Copeland's going a little crazy. He's found his dark side, his quote-unquote edge. And so, yeah. Esports Gaming Rules with a bit donation says, Mone may no-sell the finish of her first AEW match because I wonder what NJPW/Stardom is thinking. I have no clue what you're talking about. No-sell the finish? What do you mean? Like she's not going to win and then walk out? What does that have anything to do with New Japan and Stardom? Yeah, I don't get your question or your comment there, Esports Gaming Rules.
Like, what is she gonna pull like an Austin Aries at Bound for Glory?
Oh Lord, in the Morrison match?
Yep.
I forgot about that, but the moment you said it, I could picture the whole thing in my head. The moment you said it, I was like, "Oh Lord," I had totally forgot about that.
I don't think she would do that though.
No,
she knows better. I think.
Right. So, we'll talk about it here. We're gonna do predictions after we review Dynamite, but I totally think she's winning the belt, and that Willow only won the TBS title to drop it to Mercedes, be that transitional champion, because A, they had to get it off of Julia because she was hurt, and B, Willow versus Mercedes was the bigger match anyways. So,
yeah, I mean, in Mercedes' first AEW match, you have to have Mercedes win.
100%. We got 4 days till that show. And so we're going to talk about everything that happened tonight on Dynamite, everything that we think could happen this weekend at AEW Double or Nothing. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post things to the community tab. Also remember, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by becoming a channel member and hitting that join button. Even at the $1 tier, greatly appreciated, whether you do it on YouTube as a member or patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And finally, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game like Hades 2, getting an older game like Red Dead Redemption 2, maybe you're claiming the free game, Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition, which is only good for a couple more hours, maybe about 12 more hours, and then the new free game unlocks tomorrow, or you're getting stuff for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Remember, use code PWUNLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. The new season of Fortnite's dropping here soon, so you're going to want to get in there with that new Battle Pass and use this code. But with that, as far as AEW Dynamite does go, scroll down here on my notes. Show opens up with tag team action. Dynamite comes on the air. They give us a Furiosa Mad Max sequel intro style intro. Basically, they did a Mad Max tie-in for the opening of the show tonight, which is kind of cool. I will say it's a good movie. I've already watched it, but the movie actually doesn't technically come out till tomorrow. But when you know the bootleg, you know the bootleg. I mean, I already saw the Garfield movie 3 weeks ago, and that movie don't come out till tomorrow, anyways. Furiosa, great movie, probably my favorite of the Mad Max series. And I thought it was cool that they did this tie-in here with Warner Brothers and everything. But Excalibur then welcomes us to the show. He goes, I'm here alongside Tony Schiavone, Taz. And he pauses for a second and says, and unfortunately, Don Callis. And so the first match of the night is Roderick Strong and Trent Beretta against Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay. Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay come out first. And Don keeps saying, my two guys, my guys, my guys. And so commentary keeps trying to grill him. So does that mean Orange Cassidy's part of the Don Callis family? Is Orange Cassidy in the Don Callis family? And Don would never say yes. He said, he's got a lot of qualities we look for. He's really good, and he's somebody that we would consider for the family, but he never says that Orange Cassidy is part of the Don Callis family, which plays into some stuff later. There's fast offense early on from Cassidy and Ospreay, who traded dives to the outside to get the advantage. That was kind of short-lived, though, as Mike Bennett tried throwing the ROH tag title at Will Ospreay, but Ospreay kind of kicked it out of the ring, allowing Strong to hit a backbreaker and take over. Strong and Beretta then kept Ospreay grounded until we had a big backdrop that created some space for Ospreay as Cassidy made it to the hot tag and then ran wild. Beretta crotched Cassidy in the ropes, allowing Strong to hit a gutbuster against the buckle. Beretta then tried a pile driver on Cassidy on the steps like last week, but Ospreay made the save. The match then broke down to the outside with Beretta laying out Ospreay with a spear, and we go to a break. When things returned from the break, there was a double down spot with Strong and Cassidy, who nudged his way to the corner, hands in his pockets, tagging in Ospreay, who was on fire here. Beretta's tornado DDT was blocked, but not the half and half suplex, which flattened Ospreay. Strong tagged in and nearly got rolled up for a 2, but then Strong recovered with a series of forearms and a pancake for a 2. Strong then got trapped in the corner and ate a cheeky Nando's kick, followed by a sky twister press for a 2 again off the second rope, while Cassidy fell comically off the top rope onto Strong. Beretta then put a stop to all this momentum, leading to an attempted release superplex, but Ospreay landed on his feet, allowing Cassidy to fly in off the top rope with a DDT. He then hit an enziguri on Strong. There was an enziguri hit on Strong by Ospreay, as Cassidy followed this up with a spinning DDT for a 2. Coming down to the final portions of the match, Beretta ran distraction of the referee trying to untie the top turnbuckle as Strong fired off a sick kick on Cassidy. Don Callis then left commentary and grabbed Orange Cassidy's leg, allowing him to avoid the end of Heartache. Cassidy then hit a Stun Dog Millionaire, while Ospreay hit an Os Cutter as Beretta and Taven tried to jump in, but were sent to the outside. Strong then kept the ref's attention as Ospreay wiped out the Kingdom with a dive, but Wardlow would run down, mow him over. Beretta then hit a knee strike on Cassidy, while Strong connected on an end of Heartache and picked up the victory, pinning Orange Cassidy. Before we get to the post-match stuff, what do you think of the actual match itself with these 4 men? I thought it was good.
I thought it was a decent opener. Kind of expected the heels to win in this one. Just like give them the upper hand.
Right. Because I think all the I think the heels win because all the baby faces win at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Then we had a little bit of a post-match here. Post-match angle. Thus, the Kingdom swarmed Ospreay, while Beretta beat down Cassidy on the ramp. Strong decked Ospreay with the international title, while Beretta ran off Callis before choking out Cassidy. Strong then held the international title at the face of the busted open Will Ospreay, as there was one more end of Heartache for good measure that sent a message from the international champion. So it's like, for some reason, during this match, I felt like because Don would never say, oh, Orange is part of the family. Orange is part of the family. He is a member. So I thought because of that, he was going to screw Orange Cassidy in this match, but he didn't. I mean, yeah, they lost, but and Don looked like he was trying to screw Orange Cassidy, but ended up helping him in the end. So it's like, I'm still confused on, is he part of the family? They're heels, but he's a baby face, yet Ospreay's a baby face. I don't know. What do you think of this Don Callis Orange Cassidy dynamic?
It's weird to me though. It really is. Maybe at the pay-per-view they go the route of trying to think how I'm gonna word this. Maybe they go the route of maybe at the pay-per-view, Orange Cassidy wins. Maybe Don Callis comes out and says, all right, do you want to be part of the family? Maybe Cassidy says no. And maybe Beretta attacks from behind, says, I'll join the family. And Trent Beretta joins.
I can see it. Technically, it's what I thought would happen tonight. So, I mean, just waiting 4 more days and doing it on the bigger show, the pay-per-view, does make sense.
I think eventually it's all going to lead to Trent Beretta joining the family.
Oh, yeah. 100% agree.
Guys, I mean, you kind of need something to do for Trent Beretta. So if since Chuck Taylor technically can't wrestle anymore. If that's true.
Yeah, he's been learning to be a producer / coach backstage. Because they're hopeful that he could wrestle again in the future, but as of right now, it doesn't look like it. But it's like it's not 100% his career's over. But as of right now, he ain't wrestling anytime soon.
What happened to him again?
They kept saying ankle injury, so I don't know. I really don't know. We never fully heard what the career-ending injury is. I don't know. We then go to the back. We got the Young Bucks. They're with the Elite Security. They held up a sign that said Darby Allin is banned from the building. They said, yeah, we know you're here in Bakersfield, but you're not allowed at the building. You can't come in. Sanjay Dutt then appears. Congratulates the Bucks on taking care of most of their problem, getting rid of FTR. And tonight, he told Matthew that Satnam Singh, well, he's going to beat Bryan Danielson. And Matt says, if you beat Bryan Danielson, well, that's cool. But if you hurt him, that's even better. That said, this thing will break Danielson, well, like a pencil. And then he's like, hey, as long as you give us that money when we're all said and done, we'll do whatever you need. So basically just saying we're collecting that bounty tonight, which they got the money. They got the money. And good thing they got that money when they did, because if they were out there for another couple minutes, they probably wouldn't have got the money. Bang Bang Gang, they make an entrance. Literally have a wagon to pull all their titles because they each hold 3 belts. What the shit? It makes no sense. Why do they have 3 belts each now? 9 titles. You only need 1 if you're undisputed. 1 each.
I don't know. It's probably just, maybe it's Tony Khan just being like, I like it when wrestlers hold multiple titles, so it's probably just his way of...
Everybody's got to look like Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah. Like, got the Ring of Honor, the original AEW trio belt design in the acclaimed version.
Right.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't know. I feel like this isn't the first time he's done it, though. Like,
no. Also, speaking of the acclaimed, I'm shocked they weren't on this show because they had Anthony Bowens on the local Bakersfield News yesterday hyping up the show. So I'm like, oh, maybe we see the acclaimed on this show. No. Like, Bowens was delivering the news. Or the weather. He did the weather report on the news.
Probably got nothing for the acclaimed right now.
Yeah, seems like it.
There's not enough for people to do. Like, I'm pretty sure it was... I don't think it was Bones. It was Max Caster who kept saying that I'm tired of AEW bringing in more and more people.
A lot of people on that roster have said that.
Well, Max Caster was like the most recent one.
Yeah. Esports Gaming Rules. I'll just read his thing now. He says, by the way, it's been 1 year since Mone was injured, and AEW and NJPW is planning Mone versus the lady best known as Paige in WWE. No, they weren't. I don't know where you're getting that idea from. First off, it has not been a full year since her injury. And second, AEW New Japan was not planning a Saraya versus Mercedes match for the NJPW Strong Championship. I don't know where you pulled that out of your ass from. But he says they were best known as Paige from WWE for the NJPW Strong at AEW Cross NJPW before Monet got injured. I got a feeling if Monet wins, TK wants that match for the TBS Championship. Well, first off, that match was something the fans wanted to see. That match was not something that they were actually planning on. That was not in the books, in the works, at least what I was ever told or read or heard. So I don't know where you're pulling that from, buddy.
Pretty sure last year.
Go for it.
Or, sorry to cut you off, but like.
Oh, no, go for it.
But like, I thought last year at the Forbidden Door show, if Mercedes Moné was going to wrestle on that show, her opponent most likely would have been Saraya.
I mean, that's not what I had heard. That's what the fans kept saying, but there was never any. I never heard of any plan at all for her on the Forbidden Door show. Unless I just overlooked a lot of news then. Like,
I mean, there is a storyline in it, though.
Right. Let me see something. When was she actually injured? Mercedes Moné. Okay, right now. When was her last match? Cage match. Match guide. Or matches, I mean. May 21st. When was Forbidden Door last year? Forbidden Door 2023. Because I never heard, oh, it's for sure going to be her and Saraya. You know?
I don't think it was for sure or anything.
I know fans were like, it's the perfect match to do. You should do it. But yeah, she was injured a month before Forbidden Door. She was injured on the 21st. Forbidden Door was June 25th. But yeah, I never had heard anything that was the plan. Fans kept saying this is what they should do. But I always thought that would eventually be the route they go in AEW. Eventually do a Mercedes Saraya match.
Hang on.
What do you got?
Never mind. I thought I was reading something, but
Gotcha.
It was really nothing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was nothing.
So speaking of,
actually, never mind. I think
go for it.
Maybe Fightful reported it last year. I think it was the rumored opponent, maybe prior to her injury, was Saraya. But they never said anything about the strong women's title being on the line.
Gotcha.
That was just the rumor.
Yeah.
It was never like anything confirmed.
Yeah, rumor as far as like many people thought that would be, but it was never. And I think it's because the injury was a month before that pay-per-view. They never even started really booking that show yet. Hence why that match was never technically in line for that show, because she got injured well before that show. And then fans just made the thing of, well, this is what they should do or should have done. I think that's all it really was. Or people saying what they should have done when it was never in the works because the injury was so far out from that show.
Yeah. I don't really think they really built anything for that show last year, like a month in advance.
No, that show felt rushed.
It did. Like last year, it felt like Forbidden Door is up. We kind of have to do it, so let's just throw like all this stuff on the card. That's what it felt like last year.
Exactly.
Like, honestly, I can only tell you like 3 matches. Honestly,
like,
4
from that show. Yeah,
4. It was Kenny versus Ospreay, which that was actually a pretty good match.
One of the best matches of the year.
Yeah, MJF versus Tanahashi. Okay, there was Danielson Okada. That was the main event.
Yes.
There was Jack Perry against Sonata for the IWGP Heavyweight title, and then CM Punk fought, and Canada booed the crap out of him.
Yeah, CM Punk versus Kojima, I want to say it was. So, and then I think Tony Storm fought Willow, which it's like, okay, so if Tony Storm fought Willow, well, no, never mind. That wouldn't have made sense. Well, no, because Willow was the strong champion, but I want to say only the AEW Women's Championship was on the line. Something like that.
I think, yeah, the women's title was on the line.
Yeah. So, like, for all we know, they could have done Mercedes and Tony Storm, and had Mercedes challenge for the AEW Women's Championship, not Mercedes and Saraya. Because if you think about it, the only women's match we got on that show last year, other than the pre-show match with, I want to say it was Athena and Billy Starks, was the Tony Storm match. So if they were going to give us anything with Mercedes on Forbidden Door last year, it was not going to be against Saraya. It was going to be against Tony with that title on the line. Like, think about it. You give us one woman's match, it's going to be the title match.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do at Forbidden Door this year with the women's stuff.
I don't know.
I really don't. Like, who is the women's strong champion right now?
I can picture her face, but I don't know her name. Strong women's champion. Like, I can picture her face. I don't know her name. Stephanie Vacure. I think that's how you say it.
Maybe they do her versus Tony. I don't know.
Champion versus champion would not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
So wait, is there 2 women's belts? There's the Strong Women's Championship, and then there's the IWGP Women's Championship, right?
I don't even know who the champion is over there now.
Let me see. Yeah, because there's the Strong Women's Champion, and then Mayu Iwatani currently has the IWGP Women's Championship.
Triple threat.
Which that's the one that Mercedes had, not the. No, wait, hold on. Yeah, Mercedes. Did Mercedes have them both? Oh no. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone.
No, she was the she competed in the tournament for the Strong Championship, but lost to Willow.
Okay, so that was the finals to crown the first Strong champion. Got it. Okay, because the way the storyline has been is they keep making it sound like the AEW side here is that Willow beat the title and took it from Mercedes.
No.
That's how the storyline keeps coming off, is that Willow took it from Mercedes. You only beat me and took the title because I got injured. So at least the way Mercedes has been talking made it sound like she was the champion and Willow beat her for the title. I totally forgot that it was to crown the first Strong champion. Okay. Well, be damned. Anywho, before this show goes 5 hours long like a WrestleMania, brought out the wagon with all their belts, the Bang Bang Gang, that is. Excalibur points out the obvious, which is the AEW and ROH Trios titles are unified, so there's no reason to have all these belts. Taz interjects and says, then what would they do with the wagon? Why would they not? What would go in the wagon? Tried to make a joke. Then, I didn't really get too many notes here because they just kept going on and on and on. And like they're reading these scripted lines to the point where somebody in the crowd, Jay White says something and he finishes a line and you audibly hear a guy from the crowd go, "Who wrote this shit?"
I heard that.
Yeah.
I actually did hear that.
Literally. He said a bunch of stuff and someone yells, "Who wrote this shit?" I lost my mind. I was like, no way did A, someone yell that, and B, yell it loud enough for it to get on television. Like, oh boy. The cameras picked it up. Anyways, they start talking about Pac and Pac being depressed and Pac this, Pac that. And then Pac, and they make the joke of, wait, is it Pac or Pac? Do we call him Pac or do we call him Pac? Pac or Pac? Which is it? That kind of got a little old because they did that 2 or 3 times. And eventually Pac shows up on the screen. And Pac says, you want to talk about 3-on-1? Well, I've got some friends too. Let me introduce you to me hermanos. Lights go out. Lights come back out. Death triangles on the ramp. Got Penta. Got Phoenix. So Phoenix, I assume, is cleared. What was it, a month ago? He was supposed to fight Penta at Hog and wasn't cleared. So good for them. Anywho, they run down, big old brawl, Bang Bang Gang get beaten down, and they retreat as Pac issues a challenge. He goes, how about it's the Death Triangle versus the Bang Bang Gang at double or nothing for the trios belts. And the match does officially get made. Also, they've just fully dropped the Bullet Club Gold branding. They're just the Bang Bang Gang. They don't say Bullet Club Gold anymore. But what do you think of this segment and setting up the trios title match at the pay-per-view?
I mean, it'll be a decent match, but I don't think it's really anything for me to get excited for. The only thing that I'd really get excited for is just to see Death Triangle back again.
Yeah. And then I want to see what kind of level Phoenix is at. Because Phoenix is like, they keep telling us he's good. He'll have one match and then he's hurt again. Then he'll have a match and then he's hurt again. So more than anything, I'm intrigued to see how much Phoenix actually does in this match, if much, you know.
Hopefully they don't have him do too much where he gets hurt.
Right. We got a super chat here where it says, what's going on with Britt Baker? Pfft, boy. Your question is a head scratcher. Nobody knows. I've asked a couple people that I know in the company. They said your best guess is your best guess because we don't know. Fightful keeps saying they don't know. Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez keeps saying they don't know. Mike Johnson, the PWU Insider, keeps saying he doesn't know. Nobody knows why they're not using Britt Baker. Just like with Ricky Starks, nobody knows why they're not using Ricky. Neither of them are injured, and it doesn't even matter because Tony Khan let Britt Baker work for like 6 months on a messed up wrist where she wore a wrist brace every time she wrestled. So it's like, it's not that she's injured or anything. So thank you for the super chat, but it's like, I wish I could answer your question, but I can't because nobody knows. Like literally nobody knows. It's like you try to ask and you get no response. You get no answer. You get, I don't know.
Last thing I heard about Britt, I think someone asked her where she was, and she said, the fans complained that I'm on TV too much, and then when I take time off, they complain why I'm not there.
I heard that.
That's the last thing I heard, and that was it.
Not a super chat, but we talked about this earlier. King Dijak says, I heard the crowd was dead. Yeah, I was told by a friend that was there live. The crowd was pretty dead for a lot of the show, especially the main event stuff. And that's probably why you were able to hear the guy yell, who wrote that shit? Because the crowd was so dead that he was like the only one making noise. He was the only one reacting to anything. So
there was something else in the crowd that really like caught my attention. I think it was during the Swerve match, but I'll get to it when we get to it.
We got a couple more here from Esports Gaming Rules with the bit donations. He says TK planning to add CML and Stardom. That will be a mess. So we know he wants Stardom wrestlers on Forbidden Door, which if you look at it, probably just going to get Mayu Iwatani, and then she's either going to challenge or defend her title because she's got that IWGP Women's Championship. And then he also says, I want to find out what happens with AEW in Vegas before WWE ready to take over Vegas between the rest of 2024 and Mania 41 weekend. Well, nothing. They're going to do their show this weekend in Vegas. Then they're not going to go back to Vegas for a year, and they're going to come back next Memorial Day weekend. It has nothing to do and no hindrance by WWE or WWE at all. Doesn't matter that WWE is going to the Apex 2 weeks later in Vegas. Doesn't matter that WWE is running WrestleMania there next year. It's going to have no impact and make no whatsoever kind of nothing. It's going to have nothing to do with AEW. It's not like they don't run the same cities already. Like they both run LA. They both run Dallas, Texas. They both run Austin, Texas. They both run Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, WWE was just in Jacksonville last week, and AEW was just in Jacksonville a month ago. So it's like, it really doesn't matter that WWE is doing Mania in Vegas, because then AEW will just show back up 2 months later for Double or Nothing. Moving forward, we had a triple threat match. Crown the number one contenders, because we ended up getting two, plural, for the FTW title. Jericho was on commentary for this match. Had a couple little quips with Taz because he kept calling it for the world, for the world. Taz's like, you know, Chris, that's not what that stands for. You know, that's not what it means. And I'm just like, then tell him what it is, Taz. Oh, wait, you're not allowed to say it on television. So it's like, Taz is getting mad because it's not for the world. You know what it means, Chris. You know what it really stands for. It's like, okay, then tell him. Oh, wait, you can't. Because it's fuck the world. So it's like, got a little old. Anyways, it was Hook, Katsuyori Shibata, and Brian Keith in this match. Winners move on, or winner. It was supposed to be just winner moves on to challenge for the title, the FTW title, this Sunday at the pay-per-view. Keith wasted no time leveling Hook with a big boot right at the bell. As Hook quickly fought back, he tried to go for the red run, but Shibata broke it up. Everyone then traded T-bone suplexes until Shibata fired off an STO on Hook. Things kind of broke down. And we go to a break a little bit after that. Coming back for the break, Keith delivered a double underhook powerbomb to Hook and got a 2 off of it. Shibata then made the save, though. Hook connected with a T-bone on Shibata as Keith was briefly trapped in the red rum in the ropes. Keith then escaped with an uppercut headbutt. Keith then connected on a diamond dust, but Shibata ran in with a PK and a fireman's carry neck breaker until a figure 4 was sank in. Hook applied a red rum at the same time on Keith, who tapped out. And so Rick Knox is like, you've got a submission. You've got a submission. They both win. Okay. So the crowd's over here chanting, let them fight, let them fight, let them fight. Jericho grabs the mic and goes, hey, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, let them fight, let them fight. And Jericho just starts going on and on about Double or Nothing. And he's laughing, saying, well, maybe I'm not going to defend the title, but the title's for the world and this and that. And he's like trying to get out of it, saying, well, they didn't crown an actual number one contender. And then like commentary starts saying things, but we can't really fully understand. It's like, wait, hold on. Huh? What, Tony? Yeah. Oh, what? And then like Jericho's doing his thing, and Shivani just goes, I just got a text message, all nonchalantly. I just got a text message from Tony Khan. He told me that it's going to be a triple threat at the pay-per-view. Both Hook and Shibata will challenge Chris Jericho for the title. And he never tells Jericho. And Jericho's just like, hey, go! How's it going, everybody? And then Big Bill's all waving to the crowd, and Jericho's like, yeah, this is cool. Have a great night. Very awkward, I will say, post-match angle there. What do you think of the match itself and then the way they announced it as a triple threat?
I can tell you right now, the fans are not going to give a crap about this match.
Nope.
And what the heck are they doing with Shibata?
You said out to a lot of people. Like, what the hell are they doing with Jay White? What the hell are they doing with...
No, like, I guarantee you in this match, they're going to flippy flop it back to Hook.
Oh, probably.
That's all they do with the FTW belt. They have someone else win it, and they just flippy flop it back to Hook.
100%.
I guarantee you that's what they'll do. Maybe they'll have Hook pin Shibata just to keep this Jericho and Hook stuff going.
Maybe. Yeah, because then Jericho will be like, well, I didn't lose, so give me another shot.
Oh, crap.
What?
What if they had Shibata join the learning tree?
No. Well, technically, Jericho's the learning tree, and the group is the Jericho Vortex. That's the name of the group, the Jericho Vortex. Because they told Big Bill, you're gonna join the Jericho Vortex under the learning tree.
I can see it. Hook pin Shibata. Shibata's like, I want to learn from Chris Jericho.
Maybe, but you also got to remember, Shibata himself is a trainer. But Shibata also teaches, and people learn from him.
Maybe he can go the route of like, I want to learn stuff from Chris Jericho that I don't know.
Maybe. I wouldn't rule it out.
I wouldn't like it, but I can see them doing it.
Right. Then we get a really good video package on the history of Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné ahead of their TBS title match at Double or Nothing, which will be Moné's debut. We then get a little small commercial, whatever you want to call it, for the Young Bucks Reebok Pump 'em Up shoes. The video package hypes up John Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita for Double or Nothing and I hate saying it, IWGP Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. You're not even put the title on the line. And then I know people are going to go, well, Moxley can't defend the title because he's already got a title defense against Evil. No. He defended against Shooter at the Resurgence show, but before that, on an AEW program, defended against Will Hobbs in an actual title match. So you can't tell me that it's got to be an eliminator because he's already got a title match booked past this. This match should be good, but them calling it an eliminator match is just dumb.
I don't know. I kind of hate the idea of them. I hate how AEW goes the route of every time someone is facing a champion in a non-championship match, they call it the Eliminator.
Not every time. That's not what Swerve and Nick Wayne was. Swerve and Nick Wayne was just a match. It was not an eliminator. Unlike, and this is where it gets weird and stupid, because last week Swerve and Brian Cage was an eliminator. So why is Nick Wayne not getting an eliminator? You know? If you're going to use it for one, you got to use it for the rest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tyreek with the super chat. Is any news on Jamie Hayter yet? So I heard things are looking up, but there's still no. They're not. I heard things are looking better when it comes to Jamie Hayter's injury, but there's still no like significant timetable on she should be back around this time. But last I heard, which is maybe about 2 weeks ago, things are looking positive for Jamie Hayter. Another one where it's just like, what the hell is going on? Hers we know is injury related. That's why she's been out. But they won't tell us what the injury is, and no one can figure it out. Jean-Marc Sapp gets asked this every week on his podcast, and he's just like, yeah, I ask, and there's not much of an update.
I thought she was supposed to be back in like February.
Well, they've given we've heard like 3 different updates. One said that she was going to be back last November. Then one said beginning of the year. Then another said February. We've heard a bunch, and it's just like, what the hell?
I totally forgot about Jamie Hayter. Jesus. Yeah. There's a lot of people in AEW that I forgot
Someone
about.
needs to just get her phone number, call her, and go, what the hell is going on?
Maybe she won't say. I don't know.
I would assume. I would assume that's the case. It's like no one can get a direct line to Jamie Hayter. She's stuck on an island like Tom Hanks and Wilson.
Honestly, at Double or Nothing press conference, Sony's asked Tony Khan, hey.
Well, they have asked him. I think they asked him at like the World's End one. And they're like, hey, any news on when Jamie Hayter's coming back? And he was just like, oh, we're taking that day by day or something like that.
They didn't even ask what her injury is?
If they did, he didn't give a response.
Tony Khan never gives a response half the time.
Right? It's just like, oh, that's something we're not able to speak on at this time.
Or he'll just be like, I'd rather not talk about it.
Yep. Well, I mean, tomorrow, I didn't get in on it, but there's the Double or Nothing media call tomorrow morning. I mean, someone may ask, someone may not. I don't know.
I think people kind of gave up, in my opinion.
You're not wrong. I mean, yeah, probably. It's like, screw it. She'll come back when she comes back. Let's ask more pertinent questions to now. At this point, I think everyone's just frustrated with getting we have no update. So we'll see.
So people are like, we'll just see her when she comes back.
Yeah. So we'll see how it all does go. But we then had Konosuke Takeshita versus Matt Sydal. Calver talked about Sydal teaming up with the Blackpool Combat Club in Arena, Mexico a little while back. And Takeshita wasted no time connecting with a sheer drop brainbuster. Sydal countered a Blue Thunder Bomb into a snap Hurricane Rana DDT. Takeshita then avoided a dive and hit a spinning Blue Thunder Bomb before Callis signaled for the end. Takeshita then wound up and decked Sydal, with a hard forearm, and picked up the victory. So there it is. Takeshita defeats Matt Sydal. Afterwards, he acted like he was going to help Sydal up, but then he put him in a release German suplex and then started to put the boots to him before Moxley's music would hit. Moxley's music played for a while, and they're looking around. Where is he? Don finally sees him coming from behind the commentary table. Don runs. Moxley grabs the microphone, gets in the ring. Looks like he's going to speak, and then instead of speaking, he clocks Takeshita in the head with the microphone and says, I'll see you on Sunday, and then leaves. So, yeah, nothing really. Like, the build of this match has just been meh. So we'll see how the match is on Sunday. But what do you think of all this as far as the match and the post-match angle?
It was all right.
Short. They kept it sweet and short. Or short and sweet, I mean.
Yeah.
We got more Young Bucks. They're handing out flyers saying, make sure Darby don't get in the building. Darby's banned from the building. We know you're here in Bakersfield, Darby, but no. And so they walk up to gorilla position and they look all upset because, well, camera pans over and boom, Swerve is sitting in their seats. Swerve gets up and they're like, hey, take one of these. Darby's not allowed in the building tonight. And he takes the gum out of his mouth. He puts his gum on one of the little flyers, crumples it up, and then says, hit my music. And they're like, you don't tell us what to do. And then all of a sudden his music starts playing. And Nick starts yelling, someone needs to hit his music. Someone hit his music. I'm like, his music's been playing for like 4 seconds already. How about you just let him do his entrance? So timing was off on that one. They're still building up that Swerve don't like the Bucks, and the Bucks don't like Swerve. Honestly, the way they're building this, it's like, shouldn't Swerve be on Team AEW against them? Wouldn't that make more sense than him fighting Christian?
Maybe since Swerve's the champion, they're like, maybe the Young Bucks are like we got someone who's on our side that wants your AEW World title.
Technically, that's what Christian's supposed to be, but no one believes it because there's never been any Christian Young Bucks relationship prior. You know what I mean?
Like, if anything, Christian has always feuded against the Young Bucks.
Yeah. Oh, I got something in my eye. I can't see it on my right eye.
But if you really, you really think is there anyone else on the AEW roster that could have been feuding with Swerve instead of Christian Cage that could have had a relationship with the Young Bucks?
Oh, they had a relationship with the Young Bucks. I mean, I would have said just have Jack Perry do it. That one would have made more sense. Like, you're gonna give one of your friends an instant title match. Jack Perry. Jack Perry
that actually would have made a lot of sense.
It would have. Jack Perry came back to help us, and now to reward him for helping us, become tag champions, we're giving him a shot at the world title. That would have made way more sense than it being Christian. So, yeah.
And they could have just done Anarchy Arena. They could have done just Danielson and FTR against Okada and Young Bucks.
Right.
I mean, I know it's cooler to do 4-on-4, but
they could have found another fourth for the Elite. I mean, screw it. Brandon Cutler.
And people wouldn't like that.
No, I know. I'm just throwing a name out there that would have fit. But
I'm trying to find another name that could have fit.
I mean, no. I mean, they could have used their EVP status to force somebody to be on their side. It could have been like, Christopher Daniels, we're not going to fire you, but you have to fight for us in Anarchy in the Arena. Keep your job by helping us, We got you your job. Now you have to do everything for us to keep it, or I don't know. Something like that.
Oh.
Huh.
What if Kota Ibushi was cleared and they got Kota Ibushi to team with them?
That would have been an interesting one, because then meant Kota would have been against Kenny.
No, but they forced Kota to.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
And they say, if you go back to Kenny, you're out of a job.
True, but
and then,
the only issue with that is Kenny's also an EVP, so couldn't Kenny just be like, Ibushi, you're rehired?
But here's the thing. They could have gone the route of maybe Kota turns on him. They fire Kota. And once Kenny comes back, it's like, you forgot something. I'm also an EVP. I'm bringing back Kota Ibushi.
Oh, so you're saying don't just bring him back right away. Wait. Okay, that would make sense. Okay, that makes more sense.
And then maybe they could set up Gold Lovers versus the Young Bucks.
From that first New Japan in America show. That match was great.
That was the main event, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, that Long Beach show.
I think that was the main event, and I think they ended the show with Cody shoving one of the Young Bucks by mistake.
And you know who was there as a fan in the crowd?
You.
Tony Khan. No.
Oh.
I was at, not that first one, but I was at the next two U.S. shows. The one in San Francisco, and then the next one in Long Beach. No, Tony Khan was at that first New Japan L.A. show. He was there as a fan in the crowd.
What was the show at that press conference where Cody called Nick Slick Nick?
Oh, that was the San Francisco show. Where he's like, hey, anyone ever call you Slick Nick? I was like, where the hell did this come from? Okay, whatever. We got content now.
And Nick was sweating so much.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know how to respond. I don't know what to say. Yeah, no, that was a cool day, cool night. Got to go to the Cow Palace. Got to go to the historic Cow Palace for a show. Got to go to the island off of the bridge for the press conference beforehand and everything. Yeah, no, great weekend. Interesting weekend. Got a lot of stories from that weekend from the, I mean, if Nick and I ever do a podcast just about that weekend, we can talk about the crackhead motel above an Asian burrito joint that we almost ended up staying at. Like, oh, Lord. You ever been to a hotel where you have to share a little one sink, one toilet bathroom with everybody on the floor?
Never experienced that, and I hope I don't.
That's how shitty and run down this place was.
And you guys ended up going to like a Holiday Inn?
Something like that, yeah. We said, screw it, we're leaving. We ain't staying at this place. No wonder it was cheap. It was literally above like an Asian burrito place or whatever.
I remember watching that vlog, and you guys were saying you're going to get burritos, and like, never mind, didn't get burritos.
No, because we didn't stay there long enough. We made up a lie to get out of it and get our money back for the hotel. Anywho, we get a Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland took on Nick Wayne. Guys have had great matches in the past. This is another really, really good match. There was some back and forth early on. Strickland quickly caught him and slammed Wayne onto the barricade. He took his belt off and literally whipped his ass. And my first thought was, well, this match is no DQ? Like, what? That's a foreign object. That's a weapon. Ref, DQ Swerve. But he didn't. It was all Swerve until Wayne was able to drive him. Go for it.
Sorry to cut you off, but like, this was a match where I saw a fan held up a sign that says Triple H is your daddy.
Oh, Lord.
That, I thought that was hilarious. And AEW show, I'm surprised Tony Khan didn't say, like, hey, tell that fan to take that sign down or something.
Well, maybe he didn't see it till then or something. I don't know. I didn't even notice it.
Like, it was up. Like, you could easily see it. Like, it was like in the middle of both Swerve and Nick Wayne.
I'm trying to think. Oh, no. I was like half in and out during that match. I was making dinner.
I could probably find it on Twitter and send it to you.
Yeah, go for it. Where was I? So used the belt, didn't get DQ'd. I said, what the hell? Strickland had the advantage until Wayne drove him headfirst into the metal part of the turnbuckle. Strickland went to the floor, ate a PK from the apron before Wayne tried a moonsault, was caught by Strickland, and Wayne countered into a spinning DDT on the floor. Back from a commercial break, Wayne sent Strickland to the floor and tried another moonsault, but this time Strickland was there to meet him, and he hit him with a back suplex on the edge of the ring. At one point, he went for the swerve stomp on the outside, back inside. Wayne dared Strickland to put him away, but he dodged the top rope swerve stomp and put the boots to him, hit a rolling code red, and got a 2 off of it. Wayne was in control until Strickland avoided a house call into a picture perfect powerbomb and then a power slam. Strickland then apologized to Wayne before taking his head off with a house call and picking up the victory. Before we get to the post match, because there's kind of a little bit here, what do you think of the match itself?
Decent match to like build this double or nothing matchup. I mean, kind of expected Swerve to face either him or Kill Switch, if I'm being completely honest.
Give me 1 second. I may have got some news here, WWE related, but hold the phone. Okay, if I can get this confirmed before we go off the air. I'll let you know. There may be some Cody Rhodes news. Just gonna say. There may be some Cody Rhodes news. We'll see.
Can you send it to me and see what could be?
Well, I got a DM, so I'm asking the person, what do you mean? Like, I want them to clarify what they're saying. So post match, Kill Switch appeared and attacked Strickland before Christian Cage and Mother Wayne came to the ring. Both checked on Nick as Strickland was able to fight off and dispose of Kill Switch with a low blow. leaving Cage alone with Strickland. The chase was on. Strickland hit a house call on kill switch during the race as Cage ran out of the arena, tried to get into his car. He carjacked somebody, actually. And then when he tried to drive away, somebody parked in front of him. Camera then goes up right into the driver's side or passenger side window, and we learn that it's Prince Nana helping out Swerve. So my first thought is, oh, Prince Nana no longer with the embassy? Or is the embassy no longer with... What is going on with that? You know? Is the embassy no longer a thing? Or has he fired the embassy? I don't know. Anywho, Prince Nana's there, sipping a cup of coffee. Strickland then pulls Christian out of the driver's side window. Doesn't even open the door. Just pulls him out the window. Cage then scurries onto the top of the SUV. The two then fight up there. And then Strickland hits a DDT on the roof. Nana handed Strickland a chair, and he hit a concerto for good measure. Or he was about to hit a concerto for good measure, but Cage bailed and ran away. Strickland and Nana reunited as Taz had a message, or Taz says a message has clearly been sent. So I see you smirking over there. I assume you liked this angle at the post-match angle deal?
I did. I thought it was pretty creative that he had Prince Nana stop Christian Cage.
I liked it too.
It was creative at the same time, and now it's like, okay, what? So does that mean like Prince Nana is no longer with the embassy, or are they gonna have to go the route of like Prince Nana has a big decision to make?
Maybe.
I think Prince Nana should stay with Swerve.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because them two together are already like pretty good.
Yes.
Someone in the YouTube chat says next time you guys meet, you guys should do a vlog. Well, I don't think we never met
not in person.
In public.
Nope.
Not in person, but if we did.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We should.
Yeah. So moving forward, we had another good thing from this show. Malachi Black versus Kyle O'Reilly. Match was really, really good. Crowd was really behind it. I think this is what the crowd liked the most as far as in-ring action does go. I felt like, how do I say it? The crowd reacted more to this match than any other match on the show, in my opinion. That's how it came off to me. Do 1 second. Oh, okay. There might not be Cody news. It's maybe nothing. Anywho, so Malachi Black versus Kyle O'Reilly. And the two are going at it, both men trading a series of kicks early on, as commentary put over how each are trained in kickboxing. It was O'Reilly who hit a knee strike to drop Black first. Both traded leg sweeps as Black countered a kick and delivered one of his own before popping O'Reilly with a pumped knee that sent him to the outside. From there on, Black went to work on the outside to go to commercial break. Come back from the break, and O'Reilly tried to throw a lariat, but Black dodged it. O'Reilly then kneed his way out of a suplex and slammed Black down onto his arm. The crowd then got behind Kyle O'Reilly, who hit a snap German suplex, stomp, and a rolling elbow for a 2. O'Reilly then kicked away at the arm before both traded strikes as the battle intensified, and they just kept hitting each other harder and harder and harder. O'Reilly finally shot a takedown and picked the ankle for an ankle lock. Black stood up in the knee and hit a knee strike. That led to a brainbuster for a super close 2, actually. Both men then rose to their feet and connected with dueling kicks until Black fake kicked O'Reilly and then hit him with so he fakes like he's going to go with a left, and then he hits the end kick or whatever you want to call it with the right and knocks him out because Kyle's over here ready to block this way, and then he takes it from this way. I thought that was a great sequence and a finish, because it's like, okay, this guy, he knows every move I'm about to do because he's trained in kicks like I am, so I got to fake him out and boom, boom, down. So Kyle O'Reilly gets beat, and I think this was, from a match standpoint, probably the best match of the night. What do you think of the match itself?
It was definitely a good match, but in my head, I was like, dang, that sucks for Kyle O'Reilly.
But here's the thing. I get it. Kyle O'Reilly is somebody that like the crowd likes. The crowd knows they're not fully really doing anything with them. So I don't think it's going to hurt Kyle O'Reilly. Like, the crowd's still going to cheer Kyle O'Reilly pretty good next time we see him.
Right, but at the same time,
So I get it.
Like, to some fans, they're gonna be like, man, they're not gonna push Kyle O'Reilly the way he should be.
But I think fans are already thinking that. It's like, what do you do with Kyle O'Reilly? He tried to go for the international title, he failed. What are you gonna have him go for the TNT title? Well, he already did, and he failed. So it's like, you've had him go for both titles other than the world title, and he kind of failed them both. So now what?
I know when they first started using him as a singles guy, they were using him pretty well.
Hey, as long as you think they'd turn him into Cool Kyle like he was in NXT. Remember in NXT when he was Cool Kyle?
He had like that, sunglasses.
And he always wore like the denim vest.
I didn't really watch much NXT during that time because it was like during COVID.
Right.
But it was actually pretty good. Like, that NXT.
Oh, yeah.
Was actually pretty good.
So then we get a post-match angle. The lights start flashing red. They're flickering on and off and flashing red. And immediately I go, well, there's an Adam Copeland angle. What's going to happen here? I thought we were going to get some, like, him coming up out of the Young Bucks elevator with fire or something. Some Brood Gangrel entrance. But then, about 1,000 gallons of strawberry jelly that they probably drove down and got from Knott's Berry Farm dropped on Malachi Black. A video then plays on the big screen. Adam Copeland wearing what looked like his Judgment Day suit jacket, at least. Maybe the pants too, I don't know. And he tells Malachi, be careful what you wish for. See you soon. And then he laughed like a maniacal heel. Remember, these two do have a barbed wire steel cage match for the TNT title this Sunday at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. So, very interesting post-match angle that is really wasn't needed, in my opinion. It was cool to see. Taz kept bitching because it splashed onto them at commentary table. But other than that, it was like, why do we need the dark Adam Copeland? He's supposed to be the babyface anyway, so just give us the you think you know me edge Adam Copeland. We don't need this dark brood Adam Copeland. He's going against the darker House of Black. Like, I don't know. I just felt like it was a little unneeded. Your thoughts?
I mean, once they did the light flickering, I was like, the first thing I thought was like, bloodbath.
Right.
They're doing the bloodbath. I knew it.
I wasn't 100% sold on the blood thing, but I'm like, oh, we're getting some sort of brood thing here. So, yeah. I don't know. I feel like it almost wasn't needed.
I mean, I didn't mind it. You know, bring out Adam Copeland's like darkness thing against Malachi Black's darkness. I didn't mind it at all.
Excuse me. We get a video package hyping up Anarchy in the arena. Bryan Danielson is shown screaming that he has to fight for AEW because he loves this place. There's also footage of Collision from last week, The Righteous and Lance Archer taking out FTR. Danielson said they won't be at Dynamite, but he will. If the Elite want to take their shot, they better not miss. But then we had a tag team match. We had Timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May against Saraya and Harley Cameron. And why does this match make any sense? It doesn't, on a number of different levels. A, Toni Storm is defending against freaking Serena Deeb at the pay-per-view. So where's Serena Deeb in all of this? B, Harley and Saraya have nothing to do with Toni Storm, because when they did that first Harley Mariah May match, Mina Shirakawa is the one that came out and made the save. So Toni Storm being in all this, it makes absolutely no sense. If you want to do the tag team match with Mariah May against Saraya and Harley Cameron, it's actually got to be Mina Shirakawa. I get it. She's teamed up with Toni Storm, so there's too many plot holes here that just makes none of this make sense, you know?
To me, it feels like fans give crap for Tony Khan for not using the women's division enough. So it's like, let's throw all 4 of them out there then.
No, I get that. But it's like Tony Storm is not the one who came and made that save and beat down, I guess, essentially, or got rid of Harley Cameron. It was Mina Shirakawa, not Tony Storm. So now, why did Tony Storm fight Harley last week? And now we got the tag match this week. Last week's match should have never happened either with Tony Storm and Harley Cameron. You know?
Yeah.
Again, Mina Shirakawa, not Tony Storm. Anyways, Storm is still wearing the Deeb Dojo flag that she used as a strip tease on Collision. Taz, meanwhile, is furious on commentary about how he was covered in the blood from the bloodbath. He's still bitching about it. Also, they did tell us this is Saraya's first match on television in 3 months, as May hit a quick shotgun dropkick on Cameron before a spinning side slam to start things off. Excuse me. Saraya made the tag and called for Storm, who obliged, and former Outcast friends kind of went at it. Storm hit a Thez press before quickly tagging back into Mariah May, body slamming her onto Saraya. May wanted to do the same thing, but couldn't get Storm up. So Storm just slammed May onto Saraya once more. Kind of weird. Saraya faked an injury long enough for Cameron to jump in and get a cheap shot on May, who was isolated throughout the commercial break. Was it just me, or did they really keep Saraya limited in this match?
It kind of felt that way, actually.
Yeah. Like she did as little as possible. The Storm made the hot tag when things returned, flattening Cameron with the headbutt and drop toe hold on Saraya onto her partner into the corner. May came in and wanted some dueling suplexes, but instead Cameron and Saraya hit simultaneous sunset bombs for a 2. At one point, Storm hit a Storm Zero not only on Saraya, but Cameron to get the pin and pick up the victory. So yeah, I felt like it was going, and then it just went to the finish. There's a little post-match here. Storm was about to do another strip tease when Serena Deeb finally appeared and laid out Luther with a chair. May went outside, leaving Deeb to level Storm with the heel of a shoe. With the chair placed over her, Deeb applied a half crab as refs ran in to plead their case to let her go. Deeb then grabbed let go. Deeb let go, was smiling as she took her flag back. So I'm like, why is Tony Storm worried about Harley Cameron and Saraya when she's got this challenger coming after her for the title this weekend? I didn't like this at all. I don't like any of this because it's just trying to do too much at once. It's way, way too overbooked. You're trying to book like 3 segments, 3 stories into one that don't need to be. You've got Tony and Serena. You've got Mariah May, Mariah May with Saraya and Harley. And then you have the third, which is like, why is Tony involved here when this should be Mina? And that makes no sense. And this makes no sense. And it's, yeah, they're trying to do too much at once. It's like, you want women's division? We're going to give it to you, but we're going to give it to you all at once. A bunch of stuff. So, got any thoughts on all this?
Not really, no.
Backstage, the Bang Bang Gang basically just said, hey, will you accept your challenge? And then the Guns said, we're brothers. So how about we challenge you brothers on Collision? So it's going to be the Guns versus the Lucha Bros this weekend at Collision. Then we go to our main event. There's less than 10 minutes left in the show. Well, no, 10 minutes to the top of the hour. And then, so they do this match. And then as soon as we get to the top of the hour, commentary's just like, don't forget, it's top of the hour, but we have an overrun. I thought that was pretty funny, the way they just out of nowhere. We're at the top of the hour, we have an overrun. Anywho, so it's Bryan Danielson versus Satnam Singh. If this ain't a Vince McMahon booked match, I don't know what is. Like,
oh yeah,
it's Kalisto and Braun Strowman all over again.
If you fans knew that this was going to be the main event at the beginning of the show, like, do you really think they would stay for this match?
That's a good question. And now, before the show went on the air, if you said this is our main event, no. But when they kept teasing, Darby's banned, Darby's not allowed here. Yes, because they would want to see Well, Darby's going to show up at the end of the show. What does he do? So based off of like the teases of Darby's going to eventually show up, I think it'd be okay. But if they just told us beforehand this was the main event, then yeah, it may have been like, I don't know about that. As far as the match does go, it's everything you would have thought. Big man versus little man. But then the weird thing is the big man's also got friends that are helping him cheat. So it's like, if it's big man versus little man, why does the big man need all the friends to help him cheat? Oh, because the big man sucks. And that's basically what they're telling us. That this big man sucks because he can't get it done by himself. Singh was the first. I think this is actually his first singles match ever on AEW television. And Danielson was barely like up to his chest. They're like, look at the height difference here. So the bell sounds and Danielson fires off some kicks, but quickly ate a big boot and a massive chop. Singh delivered a delayed vertical suplex as Danielson went to the outside and was sent into the steps. Dutt tried to... I can't even say this without laughing. Sanjay Dutt tries to clear the announce table, and the announce table just goes... and just breaks. And so the crowd's chanting, you fucked up, you fucked up, you fucked up. And I am laughing my ass off. This broke like when a 4-year-old tried to create something with Legos and doesn't know that you're supposed to push them just a little bit harder than you think to make sure they actually connect. So it's like, oh, I built a Lego house. Oh no, my Lego house just fell over because I didn't connect them properly. It's just funny because you're looking over here. Camera's this way on the edge of the ring area where the steps are. And all of a sudden you see the Woo energy drink start flying. And you realize, oh, Satnam's clearing off the announce table. And so like Taz, I think it was Taz, like, what the hell are you doing? And that's when he pushes the little topper with the logo off the top of the table. And the whole front of the table just goes, doof. And then like he pauses for a second. And then both sides just go, doof, doof. And then the middle of the table just falls down. And they're all looking. Satnam Singh's like, I'm supposed to chokeslam this guy through the table. And he picks him up for the chokeslam. And the crowd just going, you fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up. And I'm dying. And so, yeah, they don't do the chokeslam through the table. Just, they don't. They can't. What are they going to do? Set the table back up and do it? No. They can't just go grab another table. Because then anyways. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Meanwhile, Danielson hit multiple running knees off the apron instead, sending Singh against the barricade as he tried to go for a charging knee, but was caught with the chokeslam on the apron. Singh then ripped off the top turnbuckle pad. This was another kind of like, what the hell's going on? So you have Sanjay up on the apron trying to pull the turnbuckle pad off, and he can't. And I guess they're trying to show us how strong Satnam is, because like Sanjay's trying to pull it off and he can't. So Satnam walks over and goes, ugh, boo, pulls it right off. So he goes to throw Danielson into it, but Bryce Remsburg gets in the way. No, stop. You are not going to throw him into that. And then with the attention on him, Danielson gives him a low blow because Sanjay also jumped up on the apron to cause a distraction. Anyways, Danielson gets the big man down, starts chopping away at him, kicking him and this and that. Singh then eventually does get the advantage and hits a violent overhead chop. Singh wanted another suplex, but Danielson ended up on his shoulder, delivering anvil elbows, and then he gets him in the label lock. And I think Singh goes, fuck Danielson, when he's trying to like get his arm back for the label lock, and he's trying to grab him by the face for the I guess essentially the crossface. And Taz is trying to tell us, I think it was Taz, maybe it was Excalibur, trying to tell us, I know it was Taz. The guy with the longer limbs is going to make this easier on Danielson. And like, he was trying to get it in and he couldn't really get it in. And you could see Satnam was getting mad. And so eventually everybody just runs in and yeah, they start fighting. They beat down Danielson and then eventually the Bucks come out. So before we get to the Bucks and all that, what'd you think of the match itself?
Nothing to it.
No, crowd didn't care. Other than when the table broke on its own and they chanted, you fucked up. Crowd didn't care about this at all. Also, I want to say one thing about the submission. Well, not in this match. I can't remember which match it was. It may have been in the Malachi. I don't remember which match it was, but somebody gets somebody in a submission hold. It might have been Malachi Black and Kyle O'Reilly. I think Kyle got Malachi in a submission hold, and Malachi's just like down. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Malachi was down. He's just like, and Excalibur just goes, he's about to tap out. He's ready to tap. And I'm like, huh? He never did the whole like struggle, almost tap. None of that. He's just down. He's like, I think it was like when he had him in the ankle lock, maybe. I'm like, AEW, Excalibur does this a lot. Where you're like, as soon as somebody gets in a submission, if they're in it for more than like 5 seconds, oh, he was ready to tap. He's ready. Like, no, they're not even barely showing any signs of struggle. They're hurting, but they're not doing the whole like, oh, I'm almost, So that was just something that got me that I forgot to mention earlier. Anywho, post-match. So we got this post-match brawl. Jeff Jarrett's in there. Jay Lethal's in there. Danielson ducks a shot from the guitar and then Satnam punches through the guitar, basically. Jarrett then grabs the head of the guitar, the neck of the guitar, and he hits Danielson with it in the corner before the EVPs eventually come out. The EVPs come out, and they give Satnam the money. Satnam's like, we got our payday, let's go! And they all run off. So the Young Bucks then give Danielson an EVP trigger, but Danielson moves and their knees collide. Danielson then fought back until the coins dropped. And out came the Rainmaker, the Continental Champion, Kazuchika Okada. He then walks out from the back, attacks Danielson. Jack Perry also walks out and attacks Danielson. Okada gives them the Rainmaker. The Elite then drag Danielson up to the top of the stage. Okada reveals a table off the stage, and then all of a sudden we see a car appear up on the big screen. SUV pulls up, and out comes Darby Allin. Darby gets out, looks over at the driver, and the driver is Tony Khan. Tony Khan has arrived and has brought Darby to the building. Darby's got this big-ass gun-looking thing, and I'm like, what the shit is this? So they're still fighting Danielson, and Danielson's fighting them off and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, Darby walks out with a mother-flipping flamethrower and wakes up the crowd. So the crowd thinks it's cool that he's got a flamethrower. They all start fighting, but Darby does nothing. Nothing. Am I wrong here that Darby didn't get involved at all?
No, Darby literally did nothing.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wanted to double check with you in case I missed something. I'm like, wait. Darby didn't get physical at all. And we know that Darby said that he was dealing with a concussion, which is weird. So Darby's just over here sliding off the flamethrower. Eventually, Nick Jackson gets thrown off the stage, takes a flip bump through the table, cuts himself up on his left side. And then the Young Bucks, or the Elite, retreat. Okada, Perry, and Matthew. We got Danielson's got a chair at the top of the ramp. Darby's got a flamethrower at the top of the ramp. And then we do nothing for 4 minutes as it's just, they're looking and camera's cutting like Kevin Dunn's in charge of this show. Poof, 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 poof. And then someone's like, oh, it looks like Nicholas is bleeding. Poof, poof, go back to Nicholas. So you get doctor over there, check on Nicholas, more camera cuts. And then eventually Nicholas is being checked on and Nicholas is yelling, what the hell? And then like you cut back to ringside and Matthew and Jack Perry are down there and they're all pissed off. Then you cut back up to the top of the ramp and I'm like, okay, just go off the air. God damn. And eventually the show goes off the air and we get Modern Family. So what did you think of the post match here with Darby showing up, the flamethrower, Tony Khan is the driver and all that?
I thought Tony Khan being the driver was actually pretty good.
It was clever.
It was very clever. But at the same time, so here's my thing with this, which I know, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. So like Tony Khan, he's like the head boss.
The owner of the company.
Young Bucks, he's the owner of the company. If you have a problem with the Young Bucks, just fire them.
Well, no, you can't. The Young Bucks said a couple weeks ago, they have ironclad contracts that their contracts state that they are not allowed to be fired while the contracts are still in play. Now, once the contracts expire or they want to quit, that's a different story. They could do the whole, we're not going to renew your contracts thing. But they have ironclad contracts, and so does Okada, and so does Jack Perry, that they can't be fired. They did fill that plot hole already about 3 weeks ago. I think it was the week after the Jacksonville show when they attacked Tony.
Or they could like go the route of I'll suspend you without pay or something.
That's a route they can go. They never said they couldn't be suspended. They just said that they can't be fired because they have ironclad contracts that say they can't be fired. So there is that. But with that was AEW Dynamite. And now we're going to talk a little AEW Double or Nothing coming to us this weekend from the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Is the 5th anniversary of All Elite Wrestling. And as of right now, let me refresh the Wikipedia. As of right now, 10 matches have been announced for the show. No matches placed as a pre-show match. But we're going to go through this, Luke and I, and we're going to give you our predictions on what we think could be happening this weekend at AEW Double or Nothing. So I am going to make a tally here to see who picks what. And so first off, as far as this pay-per-view does go, we do know that the International Championship will be on the line when Roderick Strong defends against Will Ospreay. Luke, you got Strong defending successfully, or Will Ospreay, your new International Champion?
I'd say this one you kind of have to go Ospreay, because you got to keep his momentum high.
Yeah, I agree. Will Ospreay wins the title, and then, I mean, I would even have him keep the title till All In, and because they have so many belts already, I would end up eventually merging this with the world title at All In, and then you have Will Ospreay become the world champion then. Just my opinion. Fantasy booking.
That's how they should do it, but I don't know if they would. Maybe they go the route of like maybe he gets screwed out of the belt and it's like, you know what? I want to go on to bigger things. I want the world title.
You see it.
If they don't merge it, that's
right.
What they should do. But I think either way, Ospreay's winning.
Oh, 100%. Will Ospreay. Moving forward with the AEW Women's World Championship on the line, Toni Storm will be defending against Serena Deeb. I'm going to say it right now. There's no way Serena Deeb wins this title. Toni Storm is winning this belt. And I'll tell you why I think Toni Storm is winning after I get your prediction. What do you think? Toni Storm? Toni Storm or Serena Deeb?
It's obviously Toni Storm. Obviously.
So, you say obviously. Why do you say obviously, though? Oh, I want to hear what you say.
I think Toni Storm retains because I think they're eventually going to go the route at All In. Toni Storm versus Mariah May. Maybe Mariah May beats Toni Storm.
That's exactly what I was about to say, like almost word for word. So, yeah, I think it's eventually leading to Mariah May taking the title off of Toni Storm. In another title match inside of a barbed wire steel cage with the TNT Championship on the line, Adam Copeland will be defending against Malachi Black. Who do you got winning this one and walking out the champion?
I will have to say, this is probably the toughest match to predict.
Yes.
The reason why I say that, because of that Fightful report about Malachi Black.
Oh, that his contract could be up soon?
Yeah.
Right. Well,
so maybe
I wouldn't even call it a Fightful report. It was more of like Sean Ross Sapp offhandedly saying something during a Q&A video that kind of got maybe turned into more of what it actually is. So there was no context given on any of it. He was just like, yeah, Black's contract could be up soon or something like that. So I don't know. But who do you got?
I would like to see Malachi Black win, but I think Adam Copeland's going to win because I think I already know what's going to happen.
Uh-oh.
During the match, maybe they have Malachi Black about to hit him with a black mass. Then lights go out. Gangrel comes out, distracts Malachi. Copeland hits Malachi with a spear. 1, 2, 3, wins, and then he gets his wedding ring back.
There you go. Well, that's the whole reason why I think Adam Copeland wins. Again, I would like to see Malachi, just like you said, but I think there's no way Adam Copeland loses because of the wedding ring thing. He's got to get his wedding ring back. So Adam Copeland wins to get the wedding ring back and keep the belt.
What's going to happen when Malachi wins? Is he going to like smash the wedding ring?
Well, I don't think Malachi wins.
I know. Like, what if he did? Like, what's he going to do with the wedding ring now?
Or just keep it? I don't know. But that's the whole reason why I would pick Adam Copeland. Because of the wedding ring. It makes this match way too predictable.
Yeah. I mean, it sucked for Malachi because it's his first singles pay-per-view match since being in AEW, which is kind of shocking to me.
Wait, then what was the Cody match? Was not a pay-per-view match?
No, that was a tag team match.
Oh. Well, they didn't do. I thought they did him and Cody in a singles match.
That was not a pay-per-view match.
Oh, okay. See, I assumed it was.
He teamed with. I'm pretty sure he teamed with either Andrade or Pac.
Okay, because that was all during the COVID times, so that's why it's like all those shows kind of ran together because they were all in the same building, you know.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is Malachi Black's first ever singles match on an AEW pay-per-view.
Interesting.
And he's been with the company for like 3 years now.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Well, moving forward with no title on the line, but a potential future title shot. It's Jon Moxley versus Takeshita. If Takeshita wins, he receives a future shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, Jon Moxley's got to win. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Jon Moxley picks up the victory. Who do you got?
It's Jon Moxley here. Moxley's winning.
Jon Moxley gets that win. In another non-title match, we do know that Trent Beretta will be taking on Orange Cassidy. Who do you got, Trent or Orange?
I think Orange wins, and then during Orange's celebration, Don Callis comes out and says, "Do you want to join the family?" Orange says no. Then maybe like Trent Beretta attacks him from behind and says, "I want to be part of the family," and leads to Trent Beretta joining the Don Callis family.
Well, this is the first one that we're not in agreement on. I'm going to say Trent Beretta picks up the victory, kind of for the same reasons, though, because Don helps him. I want to say that this whole storyline has been Don playing with Orange, making Orange think he wants him, and then in the end going, "I don't want you. I want the real wrestler, Trent Beretta. I don't want the guy that plays around with his hands in his pockets and stuff." And so he helps Trent. And the only reason he helped Orange tonight was because Will Ospreay was also in that match as his partner. So I think that's the route they go, Trent Beretta. So this is the first match so far that we are not in agreement. You say Orange Cassidy, I say Trent Beretta. In a triple threat match with the FTW Championship on the line, and I think it should be FTW rules. Yeah? Chris Jericho defending against both Hook and Katsuyori Shibata.
It would have to be FTW rules.
Right. I would say Hook walks out the champion. Now, there's a good chance. Remember, Jericho's also got Big Bill, so Big Bill can help Jericho win. But regardless, I'm going to say that title goes back to Hook.
Yeah, they're going to flippy-flop it back to Hook, and maybe I think they're going to go the route, maybe Hook pins Shibata, and then Jericho's going to be like, "I didn't technically lose the belt. I never got pinned or tapped out, so I want a rematch." And maybe they're probably going to flippy-flop it back and forth for a while, in my opinion.
So your pick is Hook?
Yeah, it's Hook.
Gotcha. Moving forward in another title match with the Unified World Trios Championships on the line, the Bang Bang Gang, Jay White and the Guns, will be defending against the Death Triangle, Pac and the Lucha Bros. This is actually another hard one. Like you said that Adam Copeland and Malachi Black was kind of hard to predict. But I think this one may be a little bit harder because not hard in a way of like, I really wish this team would win, but I could see this team winning. Hard in a way of, I don't care which team wins. I'm literally, watch this. This match means so little that I'm flipping a coin. Like, I'm literally going to flip a coin. So you make your pick first before my coin flip. And maybe entices you to go one way or the other. And then I'll do my coin flip. That's how much I don't care about this match. And the match doesn't matter.
Probably say Death Triangle. We haven't seen them team in a while, so why not give them the belts?
Right. So, when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out on the Nintendo Switch, see if you guys can see this coin.
Wait, there's a new one?
No, this is the only one on the Nintendo Switch. But when this game came out, if you bought it at Best Buy at least, it came with a coin. Hold on, let me try to. I don't know if you guys can see it. This is the coin I'm going to use. So it came with a coin. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. When the game came out, it came with a coin. So I'm going to flip the coin. Heads, which would be the words that say Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, that's heads. And then the back, which is the kind of like Smash Bros. Logo, tails. Heads, champions retain. Tails, new champions. We'll flip it. We're going to see what we get. Oh. Heads. So we're going champions retain. I'm going bang, bang, gang. But that's how much this match, that's how much this match doesn't matter. Like, it's hard to predict because it don't matter who's going to be the champions after this. Like, I could probably, if I'm going to make a real prediction, I would say Death Triangle, but that just tells you how much this match doesn't matter to me, at least.
I'm only going Death Triangle just for the sole fact that, like, we haven't really seen them like team together, and if they want to like keep them together as a team, put the belts on them.
Right. Also, this game came out. Smash Bros. Ultimate came out on the Nintendo Switch in December of 2018.
But I don't care who wins, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
I mean, people already don't care about the trios division.
Nope.
So, yeah, I don't care who wins, but if I had to pick, probably just Death Triangle.
So moving forward in our first of 3 main events with the TBS Championship on the line, Willow Nightingale will be defending against Mercedes Mone. I don't even think I have to ask you. Mercedes. That's what I'm picking. Mercedes Mone.
It's Mercedes' first AEW match.
Yeah.
You have to have her win.
Right.
And if you don't have her win, do you think she's going to complain already?
I mean, no, because if she doesn't win, there's got to be like a reason and a good storyline for it. But I don't think there's any. I would give this, and I'll never give anything 100% possibility. I would for sure give this 99.5% that Mercedes wins. Yeah. Unless Mercedes gets hurt. Because think about this. Mercedes has not worked a match since the injury. This is not just her first AEW match. This is her first match since the injury. Last May, June, whatever it was. We looked it up. I don't remember now. I think it was the end of May. Anyways, this is her first match since the injury. So who knows how she's going to be in there. And so that's why I would say there's a 1% chance she loses, because if she gets hurt again. But I'm going Mercedes Mone. You're going Mercedes Mone. Also with the title on the line, the AEW World Championship is on the line when Swerve Strickland defends against Christian Cage. I mean, Swerve's got to win, right? Who you got? I'm going Swerve.
This is a no-brainer. It's Swerve.
Yeah. Swerve getting that victory, retaining the title, and then moving on. And also, I forgot to mention earlier, we do know that next week on Dynamite, they will be doing a, what did they call it? They will be doing a Forbidden Door Casino Gauntlet with the winner challenging for the AEW Championship at Forbidden Door. So then finally, in Anarchy in the Arena, it's the Elite, Kazuchika Okada, Jack Perry, and the Young Bucks against Team AEW, Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin, and FTR. This is actually kind of a tougher one, but I'm going to say Team AEW picks up the victory. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Team AEW on this one. It feels like a safer pick.
Right. So it's like go for it.
The only way I see the Elite winning is if like someone else like comes out and helps them.
Here's my question: does Tony Khan get involved?
Oh God.
Tony Khan wheeled a chair and hit somebody over the back with the chair or something.
Do you know what they could do?
Huh?
He's about to hit the Young Bucks from behind. They turn around. Tony drops the chair, gets all scared. And then like Bryan Danielson or FTR have to come out and make the rescue for Tony Khan.
I could see that being more plausible. Like he tries to get involved and then gets scared and is like, oh, never mind. Sorry. And then like Bryan, like maybe he tries to hit Jack with a chair. Jack starts slowly coming at him, and then Bryan flies out of nowhere with the Busaku knee or something to stop Jack. I don't know. But there's a little bit of something in my head going, oh, okay, TK might get involved here. TK might do something. So I'm going Team AEW. You said Team AEW?
Yeah.
With that is everything we do know so far pertaining to AEW Double or Nothing this weekend from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. If we do hear anything else pertaining to that show, we will let you guys know. To wrap everything up here, let's check the polls really quickly before we do wrap it up, like I said. As far as the polls do go, let me get this Twitch poll going really fast. What did you think of Dynamite? What did Dynamite liked it? It was all right. I didn't like it. So if you are watching on Twitch, go vote now. Let us know what you thought over there as we check the other polls as well. As far as the Threads poll does go. And for some reason, I was logged out of Threads. Give me 1 second. Threads does that a lot. They're like, oh, you got to relink your Instagram. 50% liked the show. 38% thought it was just all right. And 13% didn't like it. Looking over at the Twitter poll. 40% liked the show. 36% didn't like the show, and 22% thought it was just all right. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 58% liked the show, 23% didn't like the show, and 19% thought it was just all right. Chris says, my biggest thing was, why was Taz so comfortable next to Jericho? I mean, he was a little bit, because at first when he said, that's not what FTW stands for, but then he was just cool. I don't know if maybe we're supposed to think that someone got into his head and was like, hey, calm down. You did this, that. I don't know. This person, just like Luke said, I like the sign that says Triple H is your daddy.
I did. Did you see that? I sent it to you on Twitter.
Oh, no, I did not. Okay, hold on. I'll pull it up.
I sent you 2 different ones. There was one, it showed up during the Shibata match, and I noticed it during the Swerve match. That's the one I sent to you.
All right, let's see. Let's pull this up. If Twitter wants to actually load properly. Excuse me. Here we go. There's this one. Okay, I see it there. Hold on. Let's pull up this one. So we have these two different images of it. Show this on the screen really fast in case anybody else did miss it like I did. Ooh, why is it not wanting to show on the screen? There it goes. Okay, here we go. Now we got it. So if you guys did miss it, there's this one where it says right up here, Triple H is your daddy. Then we have this one over here. Triple H is your daddy. That's pretty funny. Pretty funny. I like it.
Whereas Tony Khan never noticed it.
He was too busy driving. He was too busy driving Darby to the building.
Probably.
Another person says, great show, better than Raw. And as far as the YouTube live poll does go, 55% liked the show, 24% didn't like the show, and 21% thought it was just all right. And finally, as far as that Twitch poll does go, 67% liked the show, 33% thought it was just all right. With that, guys, we'll be back on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. Then we got King and Queen of the Ring on Saturday, AEW Double or Nothing on Sunday. And we started back all over next week with Raw. So with that, Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, remember you can follow us Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Follow us there. Follow us on all podcast platforms. And have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. And we will see you next time. Have a good one, guys.